Okay, so hi everyone. So good evening. So welcome to yet another live interactive session by THiNC Institute of Design. So we have come up with the UC live interaction session exclusively oriented on your UC preparation. So it's Nift turn. So we are very much proud that in the UC interactive session, it was very much helpful for UC aspirants. So with that particular confidence, we are coming with our yet another series on Nift preparations. So we are coming up with our most really very good team of faculties, which will be focused on Nift examination preparation. So the Nift examination has been very near. So we have a few days for the Nift examination, and this year's examination is online. So you are also have doubts and queries regarding various kind of syllabus or the most important topics which you need to cover in this particular time period. So in this particular series, what we have been planned for you is discussing the most important topics which can be expected in the Nift examinations, whether it's BDES oriented also, and also the BF Tech and MFM students can also join the session in arithmetic and GK sessions, and also language section. And the drawing part, the CAT section, is exclusively for the BDES aspirants also. So you all know there are different kind of subjects and topics for BDES examination. There is GAT examination, there is CAT examination. So in the GAT section, it is exclusively a language part. There will be language part. There will be arithmetic and analytical reasoning section, and there will be GK questions. So considering the GAT section, these kind of topics are really important. And for a CAT section, the drawing related topics are really important. So in this particular live session, we have come up with the GK topics. So in every examination, the GK sections are really vast, and also students have really have doubts which topic you have to prepare for, or which are the kind of important topics which you need to cover in this particular time period. So time is also crucial, since the GK topics are really vast. Students always get confused which topic they need to study in this particular time limit. So in this particular session, we have come up with the GK topic. So analyzing different previous year question papers and also sample question papers, we have sought out the important topics related to GK for the Nift GAT examinations. So in the upcoming session, exclusively the important topics will be discussed in the upcoming interaction session. We are planning for a continuous interaction session in the upcoming days also. There will be everyday live sessions also. There will be a discussion on GK. There will be discussion on current affairs also, a language section, arithmetic and analytical reasoning, and also a CAT section also. So today in this particular session, we have our faculty Chandu sir, who will be handling the GK session for you. So hope the session will be really informative for you. So that's it for now. So I will hand over the session to the Chandu sir. So sir, it's all yours.
Good afternoon, all. Hope I'm audible to all. So, myself, Chandu P Chandran. I'm a faculty for General Awareness at THiNC Institute of Design. So, the exams are very close now. I think on the February 6th, we are having the exam, and everyone knows about the Nift 2022 exams very well, I think. So, usually there will be two stages. The preliminary stage, which will be in the format like GAT and CAT will be there. That means general ability test, and GAT is having sessions like general knowledge and things like that comes under GAT. So my focus area is in the general knowledge and numerical ability, all those things, current affairs, all these things will be checked under GAT, and there are 15 questions. Okay, 15 questions exclusively for this particular general awareness or general knowledge session. Okay, and a part of general knowledge, there is a language proficiency tests and how your language vocabulary things and questions from arithmetical area. So these are also coming under this GAT. And GAT is testing your creative abilities only. Okay, so that is for creative ability test. So being the preliminary phase, we need to prepare for both these things, and we could expect that situation based test will be done the later phase. Anyway, as of now, we can concentrate on these two things, especially the GAT area. That is my preferred area because I'm a faculty for general knowledge. So that 15 marks, we must get it. Okay, that 15 mark, we must get it. So we think we'll provide all the possible supports which is essential to get that 15 marks. So today we will be discussing a topic called Indian Constitution. So when I go through the previous year question papers, I just find that 1 to 2 questions every year is coming from that particular area. So if we consider the case of the current affairs, it's a vast sea. Okay, if we consider the case of current affairs, all other topics, they are like a vast seas. Some topics are there, sure, short areas. Okay, the questions from there is sure, and you must be ready to get those marks. So because if a current affair question comes and it is from a vast sea of questions it is coming, so it will be difficult. So the toppers are decided, or the winners are decided in an examination in such a way that those who are getting the easy questions corrected. Okay, even if it is a tough question is going wrong, or if they are not attempting it, it may not be affecting them in a very higher level. But if a person is losing an easy question, he will be thrown out of the game. Okay, that is the peculiarity of the competitive examinations which we are facing in the 21st century. Okay, so we need to have some 21st century skills to solve these questions. So one among that is the planning. So the planning here, we need to plan in a certain way that short areas we have to focus. We will be discussing some short areas in the course of time. Okay, so you can we can check the number of questions in BDES, MDES, and BF Tech, MF Tech, and MFM. So you can check that BF Tech, MF Tech, and MFM, 25 questions each were there. They can also attend this session. Anyway, in BDES and MDES, there are 15 questions from GK and current affairs, and 15 out of 15 is my target, our target, and we think will give as much as support through our upcoming videos to get all the 15 marks. So everyone should subscribe our channel in order to get these marks. Okay, and your subscription, likes, and shares are the encouragement for us to create a similar content in the future. So I think we can get into the important topics to consider in GK, because we are in the last minute, the last week. Okay, we are in last week. I think 8 or 9 days are there. So we are in the last week. So if we get through go through the previous year questions, we can find brands and their questions related to brands, brand ambassadors, even their taglines also been asked earlier. In the earlier question papers, I just found questions related to the trends, who were the brand ambassadors of trends. Questions, we just come across those things. So this is a very important area. 1 or 2 questions we can expect from here. And this area is a little bit vast, and it's not that much easy to learn, but we have to, because we are in a situation to crack this examination. Another one is textiles. Textiles mainly focusing on the Indian textiles, especially the places from which, for example, Kanjipuram Pattu sarees, from which place it's coming. Because those things are geographical indicators also. GI tag products, okay, especially GI tag products were concentrated, and textiles like weaving methods. Patku weaving, it's a type of weaving. Which state, from which states that Patku weaving is coming? Pattu weaving is from which state? So similar questions you can expect. Different types of embroideries are there. Tie and dye process are there. So these things are asked in this particular one. Every time they are asking in a way that which community is doing this particular thing. Jadu Padua is a particular textile, is made by a particular community in a particular state. So all these things we have to be thorough. So other one is a constitution related, short 1 to 2 questions is and it's an unavoidable thing in the syllabus. And next one is government appointments like chief justice and others like finance commission. So a lot of government appointments are happening in the last 1 year. 1 year appointments also you need to spot out. So better to go through some current affair magazines or things like that, or subscribe our channel and follow us. We will also providing the similar content. And general science, it's better to go through the NCRT books if possible. I think last minute it is a tedious process. Even though if you are having a good hold over your NCRT textbooks, it's very good source for getting general science. Next of all, you can go for NCRT gist. There is some summary things will be available in the market. Those things also you can depend. Or our channel videos also will be providing you enough content. Anyway, Indian independence movement. A lot of content is there, and from the childhood days in the school you are learning all these things related to independence movement also, and questions related to that also you can expect. And next one is obviously the current affairs especially related to sports and recent things like laws, bills, even things coming, and new presidents, prime ministers, all these kinds of things also coming under the current affairs session. And current affairs related to the brands, or we have discussed a lot of expected topics. That means brand, tagline, textiles, current affairs related to these things. Okay. So it's having a reverse link also there. So current affairs related to these things. Independent movement, current affair, how it's possible? Because the last day we had celebrated Independence Day and the birth anniversary of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose. All these things also coming into current affairs. So current affairs can be linked in that way also. A lot of things done on the birthday of Subhash Chandra Bose. Those things related to his statue has been enacted somewhere. So all these things can also become under this current affairs topic. Anyway, we had just have a gist of the topics which we will be discussing in the upcoming days. So today our focus area is constitution related things. Okay, so this is the focus area of today's discussion. So Indian Constitution. THiNC Institute of Design present you the Indian Constitution and important facts related to this, and from the history of India. Hope everyone knows foreigners come to India, invaded India, conquered India, and they ruled for years, not merely years. It's 4 centuries they ruled India. Okay, and at that time they introduced their own laws. From the time first time Portuguese come to here and they ruled a certain area, and after that a lot of other foreigners came, and at the end Britishers came and they started trading over here. So a lot of trades was going between England and India, and English East India Company established, and they were the persons who were engaged in trade with India. So the British Parliament at that time found that they are not working in a proper way, so they need to regulate them. So they passed a regulating act. This is the first act passed by British Parliament regarding India. So regulating act 1773 comes to regulate the trade by English East India Company in India. Following this, lot of acts came. Okay, so today we will be familiar with the Farm Act and certain acts coming in our daily newspapers. We are familiar with different acts. Okay, Dowry Prohibition Act, Child Marriage Prohibition Act, different acts we are familiar through the newspapers. So at that time, British Parliament was making laws. Now Indian Parliament is making laws. So we can have a glimpse of the important laws passed on those years. So just nothing more in these things. So you just need to note about the years. So Regulating Act was passed in 1773 by the British Parliament, and it was the first rule. And the next one was Pitt's India Act. In Pitt's India Act, Indian territories under the East India Company was what they declared as British possessions. That's the first time they are telling like that. Pitt's India Act. Then the Charter Act related to trade. So trade monopoly handed over to British through the Charter Act. And 1833, the monopoly came to have some limitations. And by the 1853, a lot of monopoly in the trade by the English East India Company was removed. And next, 1858, first war of independence. Okay, 1857. So that happened. So 1858, so Government of India Act came for the first time. So after that, a lot of acts like council acts came, and then Government of India Acts came, and at the end, the last, we got independence by the Indian Independence Act, and then we formed the parliament and all these things. But before getting that free what independence in 1947, 1946 onwards, we just started making constitution, and our constitution was mainly based on the Government of India Act 1935. You can call it as the blueprint. So if any question comes like which act is known as the blueprint of Indian constitution, then you can go for Government of India Act passed by British Parliament. Then the last one, the Indian Independence Act, and it ended the British rule in India, and they had given plans for the separation of India. So all these coming under the Indian Independence Act. So by 1946, we just started making our constitution. So the first step in making the constitution was making of the Constituent Assembly. So Constituent Assembly was formed in 1946, and it was on a December 6. Okay, it was on a December 6. We just started our Constituent Assembly. Initially, there was 385 members in the Constituent Assembly, and later, when India and Pakistan get divided, it was become 299. Okay, earlier it was 385, then it became 299. So these much peoples were engaged in framing the Constitution of India. And on December 9, first meeting, 1946, December 9, first meeting of the Constituent Assembly happened. And on the December 11, Dr. Rajendra Prasad has been elected as the president of the Constituent Assembly. Okay, so he had been the speaker or chairman of the Constituent Assembly by the December 11th. Okay, and from there onwards, they started making constitution, and it took nearly 2 years, 11 months, and 18 days to frame a constitution for India. These numbers are very much important. How many days required to, or what is the duration which was taken to make the constitution? 2 years, 11 months, and 18 days. Because we just not only made a constitution, we just made a longest constitution in the world. So India is having the longest constitution in the world. So I have a question. Who is having the smallest constitution in the world? My question, who is having the smallest constitution? Who is having the smallest constitution? You can put your thoughts in the chat. Whom you guess? I'm waiting for your reply in the chat. Okay. No one. I think there is a small delay in the broadcasting. I hope some answers will be coming. So anyway, I will give you the answer because that delay it's difficult to manage the delay. Actually, the smallest constitution is for the United States of America. USA is having the smallest constitution, and it is the oldest written constitution. Okay, this is the smallest and oldest written constitution in the world. Okay, very good. Yeah, it's not Indonesia. It's USA. One answer came. So it's a very good guess. Indonesia and India having a relation. Okay, Indonesia and India having a relation. I will tell you what's the relation. So there is a Dutch and Britain were very much interested in India, so they fought for India. So when Dutch failed in their wars, so they just get into an agreement. They will leave their territories in India, so British will leave their territories in Indonesia. So Britain will give the Malayan Peninsula, that Indonesia area, to the Dutch, and Dutch given their provinces in India to the British. So that wars came to an end. Okay, so that's not a matter of year, that's a part of the Indian independence movement. We were in the middle of discussing the Constitution of India. So the Constitution of India is the supreme law of India, and it frames the political principles, procedures, practices, rights, powers, and duties of the government. And original constitution and the current constitution. So currently the constitution is having 25 parts, 12 schedules, and 448 articles. And it came through 105 amendments. More than 100 amendments happened in the last 60 to 70 years. It happened here. And over here, if you check the original constitution is used to not have this much articles. It was only original constitution. We can check the case of original. Wait a second. Now we can get into the original constitution. It was only 395. Only 395 articles was there in the original constitution. Among the 12 schedules, earlier it was only 8. And in case of parts, it was only 22 parts. So this is the original constitution at the time of Ambedkar. I didn't mention Ambedkar, isn't it? So he is the father of Indian constitution, we can tell in a like that way. So he is the chairman of drafting committee of Indian constitution. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar was the chairman of Constitutional Drafting Commission. And he researched a lot. He gone through constitutions of different countries, and he finally formalized a constitution for India. So just to keep his name in mind, Dr. Bhima Rao Ambedkar. He is the brain behind the constitution. He is the chairman of the drafting committee. Now we can just look into the structure of the constitution from the starting chapters. We can start from the preamble. So this is the preamble of Indian constitution. The preamble is taken from, we can take the references to the US constitution is starting with the preamble in the same way. So we can tell that it has been a thing which is adopted from US. Okay, it was a thing which is adopted from US. So there is a thing called objective resolution. Objective resolution. So who presented objective resolution? It can be a question, because objective resolution was presented on the 13th December 1946. It was presented on the 13th December 1946 in the Constituent Assembly. So Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, first Prime Minister of India, presented this objective resolution, because the objective resolution acts as the aim of constitution making. So our nation's aim was presented there. So our nation's aim was presented in the objective resolution. So we can just go through the constitution of our country. So it starts like this. Each and every word in the preamble is very much important. Okay, we, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic, and to secure to all its citizens. So we can stop it here. We can read the later. So these keywords: sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. So there can be questions to rearrange these words. So the question will be like this: according to the Constitution of India, India is a dash. We need to fill that, and 4 options will be like that. India is a socialist, sovereign, secular democratic republic. India is a secular, socialist, sovereign, democratic republic. India is a democratic, sovereign, socialist, secular republic. And India is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic. So now it gets confusing, the order. Okay, so we can use a shortcut like this. We are just talking about a doctor. So the name of the doctor is Sok Sek. Okay, the name of the doctor is Sok Sek. Okay, so sovereign, socialist, secular, and democratic republic. So the confusion is between sovereign, socialist, and secular, the order. Okay, Sek. Just keep this in mind. Sek. Okay, sovereign, social, secular, democratic republic. So India is a sovereign, socialist, secular republic. And few words, even in this one, the words socialist and secular. Okay, these two words. Actually, these two words were not in the original constitution. These two words, socialist, secular, even though the meaning was there, but socialist and secular, these two words were not in the original preamble. It has been amended in 42nd constitutional amendment. 42nd constitutional amendment. Constitutional amendment means changes or editings happening on the constitution. It is the simple meaning. Okay, so that's constitutional amendment. 42nd constitutional amendment, and it was done by Indira Gandhi. Okay, so even the 42nd constitutional amendment, also known as a mini constitution. So the amendment which is known as mini constitution is this 42nd constitutional amendment. Okay, so this was during the time of Indira Gandhi, and it was in 1976. Okay, 42nd and 44th amendments are very much important in the history of India and in the case of the constitution also. So 42nd amendment, mini constitution. So socialist, secular words has been introduced into the constitution. So we can now go to reading the balance of the preamble. And the preamble or the constitution provides a justice of social justice, economic justice, and political justice. So I'm just read like this: justice, social, economic, and political. Social justice, economic justice, and political justice. Liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship. Liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship. Equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all. Okay, so what is the scope of your question from here? So the question may be like this: according to the Constitution of India, Constitution provides the equality of dash. Okay, you need to fill that dash. Okay, so the options will be like this: social, economic, political, and the last option will be opportunity. Which you will choose? We'll choose opportunity because we read the preamble. That's a confusing area because equality of status and opportunity is provided. But when we read this, social equality, economic equality, political equality, possible. Our thought process will be going in that way because the words are matching. But we are forgetting it's about the justice. Okay, or liberty. Which among the liberties are provided? Social liberty, economic liberty, political liberty, and liberty of thought in that way also. Okay, so we will not get confused if we are having a thorough look on this preamble. So which are the justice? Social, economic, political. Which are the liberties provided? Thought, expression, belief, faith, and worship. Equality in case of status, equality in case of opportunity, and we need to promote them, and the constitution will promote among them all. Next is the fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. So the next important thing you need to take from this, or the reference you need to take from here, is in our Constituent Assembly, This 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact, and give to ourselves this constitution. The date 26th November 1949. So the Constitution of India was adopted on this particular day. In our Constituent Assembly, the 26th day of November 1949. 26th November. A current affair question. National Law Day. Okay, National Law Day. So that is 26th November. And obviously, everyone know that our constitution came to being in the last day, last 2 days before. That is 26th January. Okay, came into being on the 26th January. And 26th January of 1950. So 26th January of 1950, and that day is considered the Republic Day of India. Okay, so we just learned the preamble and important points from the preamble, what to look in the preamble. Constitution amendment. Only once the constitution had amended preamble. Okay, only one amendment has been happened to the preamble. That was on the 1976 42nd Constitution Amendment, which is known as the mini constitution, and it was during the period of Indira Gandhi, and words socialist secular, as well as one more word, integrity. Integrity has been also added. One more word, integrity. Okay, socialist, secular, and the word integrity. Unity along with the integrity. Unity was earlier there. Unity of the nation, now it has been termed as integrity. Unity and integrity. So these three words has been introduced by the 42nd Constitutional Amendments and the documents here. This is and I had taken this from the NCERT textbook. Okay, and over here some texts are there. This was regarding that amendment, 42nd Amendment of 1976, and January 3rd, 1977 onwards, that amendment came into being. That was mentioned all there. It's being not clear, that's why I just read it out. So January 3, 1977 onwards, that amendment came into being. A lot of things we need to learn about that 42nd Constitutional Amendment. We will learn it later. And now, the other favorite area, fundamental rights. Okay, so fundamental rights also an area attracting maximum questions. Okay, you can expect a lot of questions from fundamental rights too. So fundamental rights adopted from where? That is the first question which we need to focus. It's from USA. Okay, because there is a Bill of Rights. There is a thing called Bill of Rights in USA, and this is a copy of the Bill of Rights from USA, our fundamental rights. So our constitution offers 6 different types of fundamental rights. Right to equality, right to life and liberty, right against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, right to constitutional remedies. These are the 6 different rights. Number of articles is very much important. Okay. Article 14 to 8 is about a right to equality. Subclauses are not that much important because these will not be asking small exams like this, because we are only having 50 marks taking. Actually, there are exams which asking 20 to 30 constitution questions. At that time, each and every word in the constitution becomes important. Here only you need to understand which articles are dealing with right to equality. Article 14 to 18. Okay. So these articles are dealing with the right to equality, and among them equal opportunities are coming under this. So the question of reservation is coming under right to equality. So the question of reservation is a exception given to right to equal opportunities. So all are equal in front of law is coming under right to equality. So these kinds of laws are coming under right to equality, and one in that is Article 17. The Article 17 has been accepted in the Constitutional Assembly that in the older times. Over that, at that time, Mahatma Gandhi ki Jai, that was his slogan they raised when passing this particular act or the rule when they added this. Mahatma Gandhi ki Jai. So Article 17 is related to what? That can be a question. Because it's a very, very prominent topic, untouchability. Untouchability is coming prohibited under Article 17. Untouchability under any circumstances. Okay, untouchability is a discrimination. Discrimination at any circumstances based on his caste, creed, religion is prohibited under Article 17. So this was passed in a way that Mahatma Gandhi ki Jai, the slogan they raised. So the next one is we can just go to the right to liberty. Article 19 to 22. Right to life. Right to life is Article 21. Okay, right to life is coming under Article 21. Right to privacy. Right to privacy is coming under Article 21. There are a lot of subclauses for Article 21. The important things only we are just discussing. Okay, right to privacy is also a subclause in the Article 21. Similarly, you maybe know the another important article under what right to life and liberty is the right to education. That is Article 21A, and it was not there in the original constitution. It was added later on behalf of a constitutional amendment, that is the 86th one. When the 86th constitutional amendment came in 2002, I think, somewhere in that year. Okay, in 2002 it has been came there, and at that time this particular thing has been added. Okay, at that time Article 21A has been added, and even there is a change in fundamental duty happened, and in directive principles also there is some changes happened due to the introduction of 86th Constitutional Amendment Act, and everything is related to free and compulsory education between 6 to 14. Okay, so and the next one is a right to exploitation, Article 23 and 24. Okay, human trafficking, everything is coming under right against exploitation, and child labor. Child labor is prohibited under right against this exploitation. So 23 and 24. Okay, 23 and 24 are dealing with all these things. Now, next comes to right to freedom of religion. Everyone has their own right to preach and profess their religion in India. So those things are coming under Article 25 to 28. It includes the freedom of conscience and free profession, practice, and propagation of their religion. And they have the freedom to manage religious affairs also. So if it is not affecting the public or the morality of the public or a public order or the health or anything related to the public, the law will not get into these kinds of things, but it will going against the public order, then there is exceptions. Law can enter into these things. Anyway, the next one is the cultural and educational rights. The next important thing is the cultural and educational things, and it is related to the minorities. They can run their education institutions. Okay, so Article 29 and 30 about cultural and educational rights, especially belongs to the religious and linguistic minorities of the nation. And next one is the constitutional remedies. There are two articles related to constitutional remedies, and according to B.R. Ambedkar, this is the heart and soul of the constitution, because if anything going wrong, if anything going against the fundamental rights of the citizens, they can approach Supreme Court or High Court. Okay, they can approach Supreme Court or High Court. Under Article 32, they can approach Supreme Court. Under Article 226, they can approach High Court of India. Sorry, High Court of any of the states which they are coming from or other cases related. Okay, so or they can approach Supreme Court under Article 32 of the Constitution. So, and if anything violating the fundamental rights of the citizens, the Supreme Court or a High Court will what proclaim or they will provide writ, they have writ jurisdiction, so they will make writs. Maybe you may be familiar with the habeas corpus, the very famous name through the movies. Habeas corpus is a writ, so that means bring the body, that is the meaning. Okay, so they have to bring the body of the person who is detained unauthorized in detentions are coming under habeas corpus. In the similar way, there is a mandamus, certiorari, and prohibition. So, five writs, quo warranto, including quo warranto, five writs was over there. So, those the name of the writs only enough. Okay, habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, and quo warranto. These are the five writs. And now this is about the fundamental rights, and article 33, 34, and 35 also they are under fundamental rights. It's related to the exceptions provided to army personnel, police, certain persons, things like that. So now comes to the next chapter, chapter 4, that is directive principles of state policy. Okay, DPSP. It is also a borrowed thing. We can't tell that it has completely borrowed, but we could. It is borrowed from Ireland, but we can find the traces in Government of India Act 1935 also. There is a thing called Instrument of Instructions. Okay, so from 1935, there is Government of India Act 1935. There is certain things called Instrument of Instructions, and when our Constitution comes, it becomes Directive Principles of State Policy. So from the name itself, we can understand that it is related to state policy. Yes, it's obviously related to the formation of the state policy, and we had adopted it from the Ireland. Okay, because a lot of things had been taken from Ireland. That's why we are telling like that. So we adopted from the Irish Constitution, directive principles of state policy, and Article 36 to 51. Article 36 to 51 are dealing with the directive principles of state policy. So this is just instructions for the lawmakers. This is instructions for the lawmakers, and they need to make laws even in the parliament or state legislative assemblies in accordance with the DPSP. Okay, so the ideals coming under the DPSP should be respected while making the laws. Okay, so that is the idea of adding DPSP. So there are a lot of articles coming under DPSP. We can just have a quick glimpse. So Article 36 defines what is a state. Even Article 12 also defines what is a state. State means a state in the sense of constitution, or country is a state, or even government departments. If you take it's what Indian oil. Indian oil is a state according to government. According to constitution. Kerala is a state, or a particular ministry is a state. So any organization they can call as a state. So definition of the state as per the constitution is that much not recorded in our exam, I think. But for your understanding, I'm just giving you an idea. So the next one is Article 37. So Article 37 is related to the application of the principles. How to apply the principles coming under this part. That means that's chapter 4. DPSP. How to apply DPSP in lawmaking. So there are other laws 38, 39, 39A. 39A is demanding equal justice and free legal aid. And another important thing over here is living wages, participation of workers in management of industries. 43A, these things were introduced by Indira Gandhi government through the 42nd Amendment. And promotion of cooperatives later added in 96th or something amendment. It has been added, not there in the original constitution. And now comes the very important thing, very relevant thing as of now. uniform civil code. So the current government is trying their best to what bring uniform civil code, and Article 44 is related to uniform civil code. Okay, and the other important things are coming under this is organization of agriculture. These are Gandhian principles actually. Sorry, these are Gandhian principles. So in our DPSP, we can find Gandhian principles and socialist principles, neoliberal principles. All these are three types of principles we can find in our constitution. Constitution means the DPSP section. Okay, so organization of agriculture and animal husbandry, and protection and improvement of environment and safeguarding of forest and wildlife. It is also important one. I'm sorry. Okay, so the next chapter is about the fundamental duties. Next chapter is about the fundamental duties. So before getting into the fundamental duty, the duty of those person who is watching this is to subscribe our channel. Okay, because I just mentioned in the beginning, because your encouragement is what your encouragement will leads to create a more contents like this, more classes, more videos. So now we are getting into fundamental duties, and this was not there in the original constitution. It was added later. Added later means the mini constitution amendment, 42nd constitutional amendment, 1976, during the reign of Indira Gandhi. So in originally there was only 10 fundamental rights. The 11th one was later added. Okay, so duty of all parents or guardians to send their children in the age group of 16 to 14 to school. Okay, and from the statement itself, you can understand which constitutional amendment. It is 86th one. Right to Education Amendment. Okay, Right to Education Amendment, 86th CAA. So other 10 were originally there from the 1976 onwards. Before not, from 1976 onwards. This was happened during the time of emergency. Okay, emergency was happening in India. So like no one can protest against anything, or a group of more than 5 people will be prosecuted if it is happening in a public place. So certain condition like that, an emergency period of India is considered as from some black days in the history of India. So at that time, the Prime Minister may think that the people is not having any faith in their country. So to generate those things, she appointed a commission under Swarency. Is a Congress person, Swarency. So under Swarency, a committee recommended to introduce fundamental duties. Okay, so fundamental duties in relation with, or it has been taken from, at that time it was USSR. Currently it has been split into Russia and other countries. So it has been taken from the USSR. Okay, so Soviet Russia, it has been taken, and Swarency Commission recommended for adding fundamental duties. So as a result, fundamental duties has been introduced in our constitution as Article 51A. So as Article 51A, as part of 42nd Constitutional Amendment Act of 1976, we introduced fundamental duties into our constitution. So now we will be getting into some constitutional executives, constitutional bodies, all things that we are going to discuss now. These are our all toppers. Next time I want to see your names also in these things. Okay, so we can start from the president. Hope everyone knows our current president. You can put it in the chat. Who is our current president? President of India. You can put it in the chat. I will look into it. Okay. Ramnath Kovind. Ramnath Kovind is the current president of India, and according to India, he is only a nominal head. Okay, real head is the prime minister itself. He is only a ceremonial head, and he is indirectly elected. What is that indirect election? Okay, we need to have some idea about that election. He is indirectly elected by an electoral college. Okay, and single transferable secret ballot system. Single transferable votes under a secret ballot system. The president is elected, and proportionate voting. Okay, that means a preference voting is happening. Okay, proportional representation. That's an apt word for that. So the election of the Indian president is called proportional representation. Okay, so in that particular election, single transferable votes are happening, but in the real meaning, it's not single transferable votes. Actually, there is a plurality, because if three persons are electing, every voter has a preference. First preference, okay, to a particular person. Second preference, particular person. Third preference for a particular person. Three persons are competing. If third one is get out, that means when vote is counted, first preference votes are counted. So number 1 and 3, assume number 1 and 3 got the first two positions, and now the 2 is out. Then the odds gained by 2 will be taken for reconsideration, and we will check who is having second preference. Okay, this is X, this is Y and Z. So X and Z has been taken to the next level, and now take the votes of Y, and we will check the votes obtained by Y. So if the first preference, obviously it's Y, but the second preference, if it is X, then that vote will be transferred to X. If the second preference is Y, Z, then that votes will be given to Z. Then this process happens. If 3 participants, then 2 rounds. Okay, so at the end, we will be having one person. He will be elected as the president, and he will take oath as the president. And from that day onwards, he will continue as the president of the nation. If any delay in choosing the president or things like that, the former president who is in the position earlier will continue until the new president assumes charge. And in case the president is absent, in case of death, is a resignation or anything else, at that time the vice president of India comes there. Okay, the vice president of India will assume charge as the president. But unlike USA, what's happening in USA is the vice president, if the vice president is assuming charge, he will rule there for the remaining term. That means if in India, the maximum time is 6 months. After 6 months, there should be a new president. Okay, after 6 months, there should be a new president. So up to that time, he can continue to be the president. Okay, so until that time, he can continue to be the president. But when the 6 months over, the new president must come. Electoral college must elect a new president. So we can come to the vice president. He is the deputy head of the state, the second person in the nation. And another one similarity with the US Constitution or the Constitutional Assembly is that he is the head of the Council of States. It's same in US and same in India. Okay, so in India, he is the ex-officio chairman of the Rajya Sabha. That's the Council of States. Okay, and he is elected among the members of both Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Okay, he is elected among the members. But in case of the president, there is a different. In case of the president, the election is having a difference. He is elected among the MPs MLAs. But the nominated members are not included. Okay, nominated members are not included. But here, only MPs are participated and nominated members are included. Okay, so the nominated members are included over here. But when the case of impeachment, the removal of the president from his position is termed as impeachment. So, impeachment process, these MLAs may not be there, only MPs, and at that time nominated MPs also can participate. Okay, and the removal of the vice president is in another way. So the removal of vice president when a vice president is not fit for that post, only majority, they will be only looking into the Rajya Sabha. So Rajya Sabha will pass a resolution against him and it will be transferred to the Lok Sabha. When Lok Sabha accepts it, there ends. Okay, and proposers and supporters. So in case of the president, we need to have 50 proposers and supporters. Okay, to file the nomination, and 15,000 rupees in cash also has to be filed as a security. So that's happening in vice president. And in case of the prime minister, hope everyone knows the vice president, I think Venkaiah Naidu. Okay, current vice president is Venkaiah Naidu and current prime minister is Narendra Modi, and prime minister of India is the head of the executive branch of the government, and he is the real head. Okay, he is the real head of the government or the India, and president is working according to his and advice of his council. Okay, that means prime minister and his council of ministers will give advices to the president, and president is bound to those advices. President is not having any constitutional discretions in that case. He must bound with the advices of the council of ministers, with the head as the prime minister, and it is happened in the 42nd constitutional amendment. This was made compulsory, and by the 42nd amendment, another thing also unread: if a bill has been sent to the president for his assent, he must sign it. There is no chance for giving a reconsideration. He must sign it. That is also being under the 42nd constitutional amendment. But by the 44th one, that one removed, and president got a chance for sending it for reconsideration. After reconsideration, if it is coming again, then he must give. That is the rule. Okay, so that is the case of the bill. If a bill comes to the president from the parliament, he can give for reconsideration one time if it is not a money bill. If it is a money bill, he must give his assent, because in case of the money bill, it is introduced in the parliament with the prior permission of the president. If a money bill has to be presented, the prior permission of the president is required. Okay, so unless money bill, he can send it for a reconsideration, and after reconsideration, if it is coming back once again without any amendments or with amendments, he must provide his acceptance. So the prime minister is the presiding member of the council of ministers, and the prime minister shall be appointed by the president. Okay, so president is appointing a lot of peoples, including the speaker of the Lok Sabha. Speaker of the Lok Sabha can be called as a king in the house or the floor of the house. Okay, so even the prime minister is addressing her as him or her as the Sar, and currently Om Birla is holding that post. Currently, Om Birla is holding that post. So the Speaker of the Lok Sabha is a presiding officer and the highest authority of the Lok Sabha. He is taking decisions regarding whether a bill is money bill or not, and how to maintain the decorum of the floor of the Lok Sabha, and she is the highest authority of the area. And the Lok Sabha is the lower house of the parliament, but more powers is vested with the Lok Sabha. And speaker is elected generally in the first meeting of the Lok Sabha following general elections, and obviously it will be from the ruling party, because if a person is standing in the election, he will be chosen because most votes he will be getting. But by convention, from the last few years, by convention, Deputy chairman is elected from the opposition party. This is by convention, or no constitutional basis for that. It is by convention. It is from the opposition party. The deputy chairman or the deputy speaker is elected. But currently there is no deputy speakers. I think the last week also Supreme Court having given a nod to the Parliament that we must elect one because it's against being that position is vacant is against laws. So they had given a nod, but now further things happened. So we will be expecting a deputy Lok Sabha speaker as soon as possible in the future. Anyway, the post is currently vacant. Now comes to the Attorney General. Attorney General is the person who is the supreme in case of giving advices related to law and things. So a person who is qualified to be appointed as the judge of the Supreme Court is being selected for that particular post, and he is appointed by the President of India. Okay, on the advice tendered by the Prime Minister and his team. It's obviously happened, and he is coming under the Article 76, and currently it is KK Venugopal. Okay, currently it is KK Venugopal. So this is the current affair part of this particular one. So we are linking constitution and current affair together. This is the current affair part of this. So KK Venugopal is the Attorney General currently, and now the next one is the Comptroller and Auditor General of India. So he is taking care of the accounts of the Government of India. Article 148 is dealing with that, and this is the what he is considered as the guardian of the public purse. And hope you that the word CAG was very quite famous during the Manmohan Singh era, because 2G scam was being taken to the light by the then CAG. Later controversies came on that way. Anyway, that's not part of our matter over here. So the President of India is a person who is appointing CAG also. Okay. So last time the question was related to election commission. Some constitutional bodies has been asked last time also. Goods and service tax is a newly introduced one by a constitutional amendment, and the GST Council is formed under Article 279A. So the thing which is important is the chairman, Union Finance Minister is the chairperson. Hope you know the current Union Finance Minister is Nirmala Sitharaman. So she is the chairperson, and the other members are the Union Minister for State in charge of Revenue and Finance, Minister in charge of Revenue or Finance, or any other minister nominated by the state government as members. So they are the participants of the GST Council. So the presiding officer or the chairperson is the Finance Minister. Currently it is Nirmala Sitharaman, and next one is the UPSC, Union Public Service Commission. So this is a central recruiting agency for the country, and posts like IAS, IPS, these civil service posts. Okay, this is civil service posts were recruited under the aegis of Union Public Service Commission, and Article 315 to 323 of Part 14 of the Constitution is dealing with Union Public Service Commission, and its chairman and members are appointed by the president, and the states also having similar arrangement. We will discuss that. Next one is Finance Commission. Actually, the taxes are levied upon peoples in our nation, and that tax has to be bifurcated. This is the center share, this is the state share, this is for that, that is for this. So we want to divide this. So there should be a mechanism. Okay, there should be an institution for dividing this. That is why we just introduced Finance Commission by the Article 280, and it is periodically constituted. The period is 5 years. Okay, every 5 years the president will constitute a Finance Commission, and the current Finance Commission chairman is the N.K. Singh. He is a former IAS officer in India. Okay, so N.K. Singh is the current Finance Commissioner. So next is the Election Commission. Okay, so a very, very powerful person in India, because he is electing the persons, including the President of India. So it is a permanent and independent body. In the initial time, it is a uni-member body. That means only one member was there. And in the course of time, other two members added. And after 2-3 years, the other two members removed. Again, other two members added. Now it is a multi-member commission with one chief election commission and commissioner and two other election commissioners. Okay, and we can just have a look into the current election commissioner. He is Sushil Chandra. So he is the current election commissioner of India, and he is appointed by the President of India. Okay, he is appointed by the President of India, and Article 324 is very much important in relation to election commission, because under Article 324, election commission is deriving its powers. Next is National Commission for SC. Earlier, National Commission for SCs, STs, where all these things were together, and by the 89th Constitutional Amendment, it gets separated by the year 2003, and under Article 338, they are established a National Commission for SCs, and the chairperson, vice chairperson, and other three members are the constitutional parts of this one. They are the members, and it is also appointed by the President of India. Okay, and next one is the National Commission for STs. So National Commission for STs is the 338A. The other one was 338. It was 338A, and obviously it is also from that amendment. 89, the Constitutional Amendment of 2003, same composition, chairperson, vice chairperson, and three other members, and appointed by the President. So the National Commission for SC is having the chairman. I will tell name of the chairperson. So chairperson is for SCs, it is Vijay Samla. So Vijay Samla is the chairman for National Commission for SCs, and the STs is having Harsha Chauhan. Okay. So these are current affair things. Okay, not it. These are current affair things. So Harsha Chauhan is the current National Commission for STs chairman, and the next one is the National Commission for Backward Caste. Okay, it is earlier it was under National Commission for SCs. Now it has been taken from there under 102nd Constitutional Amendment that happened in very recently in 2018, I think, 4 years ago. Okay, NCBC, National Commission for Backward Classes, 338, 338A, and 338B we learn now. Now it is 338B. So same composition, chairperson, vice chairperson, and three other members, and appointed by the President of India. And the current person who is Bhagwan Lal Sahini is the current chairperson of the National Commission for Backward Classes. So the next one, we just come to the Supreme Court, Chief Justice of Supreme Court. Current one is N.V. Ramana as of now. Okay, and Chief Justice of India is N.V. Ramana now. So he is the highest ranking officer in Indian federal judiciary. And Constitution of India grants power to the President of India to appoint Chief Justice. Okay, so Supreme Court is known as the guardian of the Constitution, and Chief Justice of India is appointed by the Prime Minister, and usually senior-most judges are chosen as the Chief Justice. But in the course of time earlier in the past, it was sometimes that convention or that mechanism has some sort of changes earlier, but now it is again the senior most is going on. Anytime anything will happen. Okay, and the next one is governor. So in Supreme Court Chief Justice like that, High Court also have a Chief Justice, and the appointment transfer of these judges, Supreme Court or the High Court, are decided by a collegium. Okay, and the collegium is consisting of the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and other for senior most judges. So that is the composition of the collegium, and their recommendation is the binding on the president. So uh, and if two among them is against, okay, include that four persons, two among them is against a particular thing, then that may not be recommended. And this is not mentioned in the constitution. It is comes under judges case. There are three judges case through these are judges case 1, judges case 2, and judges case 3. Under these three cases, this collegium system has been developed. Okay, that is far beyond the scope of our exam, so we need to focus that on. Governor is the nominal head in a state, and he is appointed by the president. At the time of the formation of the constitution, there was confusion whether he has to be elected by the peoples, that means direct elections, or he has to be appointed by the president. So there was a question like that. At the end, they just chosen as similar to Canada. Okay, we were having a Canadian connection with that. As similar to Canada, we will appoint governors. We decided. Okay, and it is the duty of the president to appoint governors. And governors is having a tenure of 5 years. A lot of cases has been came in Supreme Court regarding removing governors before completing their period, because when government changes, when the new government arrives, they will remove the governors appointed by the previous government. So to avoid that, a lot of cases has been filed in the Supreme Court, and a lot of commissions, including Sarkaria Commission, recommended that the tenure should be maintained. Okay, and if the removal, if the transfer is happening, then they need to consult with the CM of that state. So all these kinds of recommendations were made. So now it is following some sort of tenure system now. And Advocate General of the state, obviously, as like the Attorney General, one person has to be in the state also. And he is appointed by the governor. He is the highest law officer in this state. We discussed the Attorney General. There is a person, second. First is Attorney General. Second one is the Solicitor General. Okay, second one is the Solicitor General. He is the second highest law officer in India. Okay, and he will be going into the courts on behalf of the central government. Next is the State Finance Commission. As like Central Finance Commission, it came into being by the Panchayat Raj Institutions Amendment. Okay, 73rd Amendment and 74th Amendment brings State Finance Commission for distributing taxes collected by the state or income obtained by state. So that is a function of the State Finance Commission. Then comes the State Public Service Commission. And State Public Service Commission is mentioned under Article 315 to 323 under Part 14 as like a UPSC. And it is considered as the watchdog of the merit system. One important thing which we need to note in this particular area is the appointment and removal. State Public Service Commission members appointed by the governor, but removal is by the President of India. Okay, so it's removal. Appointment is by the governor, but its removal is by President of India. Member and chairman of the State Public Service Commission also. So it should be keep in mind. So these are this is the gist of the Constitution, and we just gone through the important areas which is having relevance as per our Nift exam. Okay, relevance as per our Nift exam. So this is custom tailored for the Nift only. Okay, so we will be coming up with a similar content which is custom tailored for this particular examination. So stay tuned to our channel, subscribe, like our videos, share with your friends. Okay, so when the encouragement improves, our content will be there. That means more contents, more topics we will be introducing. So thank you all. Hope you got a very good idea about the Constitution. Wish you all the best for everyone for your upcoming examination. Stay tuned to our channel, subscribe. Bye all. Have a great day, guys.
Okay then. So thank you, sir. Thank you so much for that wonderful session. So admin, am I clearly audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Okay. So guys, this is exclusive series for the Nift examination. So currently in this particular day, we have discussed the GK section, one of the most important section, the constitution part. So you can expect in the previous questions, we have been seen similar questions related to constitution. So like that. So that's why we have included this particular important section for you. So I think the class was very much informative. So in the upcoming days, we will come up with the most important topics with you, exam oriented. So exam focused important topics we will cover in between these particular limited days. We will come up with you. So tomorrow also we have an upcoming session coming up on language. So again, the session will be on 2 to 3. So please subscribe our channel for more details, and if you love the content, also subscribe the channel. So the more updates will be also there in our community page also, and also think have an Telegram channel in which very interactive discussions and also the materials related to these kind of examination will be shared. So that's it for now. So thank you so much everyone. So see you tomorrow. So yes, thank you.